स्वराज आईएएस के जो आंसर राइटिंग सेशंस थे उसमें मेरे को बहुत हेल्प मिलती थी.
The lectures and the answers which I wrote for Swaraj IAS, the discussion of it was very helpful for me. I would say अच्छा रहेगा. मतलब मैंने सोशियोलॉजी टेस्ट सीरीज तो ज्वाइन नहीं किया था स्वराज में, डेली आंसर राइटिंग ज्वाइन किया था, तो डेली आंसर राइटिंग तो बहुत फायदा किया था. अगर
So firstly, I would like to say the main things in the mains examination are, firstly you have to have a basic content for the mains examination. Okay, and the content part has three things. First, the quality of the content, and second, the presentation of the content, how you would be presenting your content. Okay, so that would be the key. And the second thing that comes to is the answer writing skill. So answer writing is an art. Okay, so we have to learn that art, we have to process that art, so that we can tackle the bouncer questions which UPSC gives, or the questions which we don't know about, जिसमें अपने पास मेरा content नहीं है. So we are able to do those things. So answer writing skills, and thirdly and the most importantly thing which comes to is the time management. So these three are the pillars of UPSC mains examination, in my opinion. Firstly is your content, secondly answer writing skill, and thirdly time management. So answer writing के लिए what you can do is, answer writing has three parts. First is the demand, second is the structure, and third is the presentation. So you need to work upon the demand of the question, which is the first important step. So I would like to tell my answer writing strategy and how I developed the art of answer writing. So to build the strategy for answer writing, कि आपको आंसर, सबसे पहले आपको क्या सीखना है, आपको किसी भी क्वेश्चन के आंसर में क्या लिखना है और कैसे लिखना है. क्या और कैसे, ये दो इंपॉर्टेंट पैरामीटर्स होते हैं किसी भी आंसर राइटिंग करने के लिए. क्या मींस डिमांड ऑफ द क्वेश्चन, हाउ यू आर एड्रेसिंग द डिमांड ऑफ द क्वेश्चन. अपन को वो लिखना है जो क्वेश्चन में पूछा गया है, ना कि वो जो अपन को आता है. यू हैव टू एड्रेस द डिमांड ऑफ द क्वेश्चन, what is asked in the question, and not what you are knowing. So that helped me in GS. Content more or less everybody has the same. What I worked upon is my answer writing capability, and how I used to use my limited content to maximize my knowledge and maximize my output in the answers. So for it, I developed my own way of writing the answers for GS 1, 2, 3, 4. Every particular GS has a particular aspect of answer writing. For example, in GS 1, you will write multiple examples. In society chapter, you will quote the quotes also, and you will say the examples and the current affairs from the newspaper articles, the current happenings. You will quote them. Okay. This is the value. And in geography portion, anyways, you have to draw the diagrams. In geography and history portion also, you can draw the maps, or the in art and culture you can draw the diagrams and the coins or the architecture. For example, Sanchi Stupa, if you are writing as an example, then you can draw Sanchi replica of Sanchi Stupa. For example, Sarnath line capital this year I drew 18 to 20 diagrams in paper 1 this year. Okay, so that shows a very good aspect of answer writing, and enhances our marks also. In GS2, the main things are the articles and the constitution judgments. Along with the constitutional judgments, the diagrams and the various committees you need to be quote. So that are the very important aspects in GS2. And the IR questions are, you need to address the demand of the question. What is asked in the question? What are different parameters, different features, the cultural exchanges, people to people contact, the trade relations between the two nations. Indo-Pacific region is frequently asked by the UPSC in GS2. So these are the few areas which you need to cover in GS2. Articles and judgments are a well-known fact. You need to learn it. There is no escape and no second way, and you need to use it frequently. In GS3, what comes is, GS3 is more about knowledge oriented, more about data oriented, is GS3. So for that, for GS2 and GS3, I would say the sources would be, which I referred as the main 365 only, that you can use sufficient enough. GS3 में इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी, डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट, ये सब थोड़े से इजी टॉपिक्स होते हैं, ब्राउनी पॉइंट्स वाले. तो यहाँ पे आप अच्छे से प्रिपेयर करके अच्छे से आंसर को लिख सकते हो और वैल्यू ऐड कर सकते हो अपने चीजों में, और स्कोर, अच्छा स्कोर ले सकते हो. When we talk about GS4, GS4 is completely your field. You can try to write as many values, as many examples, and try to be a bit unconventional in GS4 if possible. Try to draw diagrams and flowcharts if possible, and be short and crisp in your answers, especially in GS4. And rather than writing multiple points in the answers in GS4, try to elaborate your points in GS4. elaboration of the points is key in GS4 rather than writing many points. No, ethics is all about explanation. So you need to explain your points and your things. What works for case study is the application of section A and sticking to the question and sticking to the facts of the case, that is more essential, and using the keywords and concepts and theories of the section A which we are writing, and using the multiple values and going with a positive and the positive direction. The sources of ethics, I would say, is I haven't relied many of the sources. I did Jatin Jain search Decode Ethics. So that is the book, only book which I referred. And apart from it, a topper notes which I have seen, and I have practiced the answer writing religiously for ethics. For essay, I have scored very good marks in essay. This year I have scored 135 marks, and average being about the 90s and 100. So I don't know what actually UPSC is thinking in awarding marks in essay, but what worked for me in my favor, which I think is, I would say, try to be as unconventional as possible in writing essay. Don't be a mechanical. You don't have to write mechanical essay, be organic in essay writing. Try to write with emotions and your things. For example, I love cricket, so I used anecdote of cricket to introduce one of my essays, and I have used various slogans, shloks, various quotes, and Kabir ke dohas, and everything I've used in my essays to be unconventional, and explored all the possible dimensions I can for writing the essay. So I've approached the sports angle, technological angle, legal, environmental, ethical angle, political, social, economic, everybody writes. Okay. In entertainment angle, you can also write about the different industries or anything, press, media, democracy, IR. All these angles needs to be explored, history. But what important thing I think which majority of the aspirants miss out is on the writing the counter narrative or counter narrative of the essay counterpart. So you can write a 1.5 page introduction, then 5 to 6 pages of in favor of your essay, and then write at least 1.5 page for the counter view of the essay, the counterpart of the essay, which major people are missing. Okay. And after that, you can write the conclusion with a very good positive note, a poem, or any quote or anything which you like to end with the theme of the topic. So you can do that. So that's how you can add the conclusion. So that would be helpful. So yeah, this is the how I completed my essay. So this is the broad overview of GS which I have done. And sociology also, my optional is sociology. So in sociology, I used to do the basic resources only, not going for any fancy or high resources. I read the newspaper continuously for since my preparation stages. Before the prelims, I used to read the Hindu paper. Between the pre and the mains, I used to read the Indian Express paper, and I made notes and I took out the examples of every subsection. So that's how I utilized the newspaper and integrated them with my proper notes. So those of you who are writing mains this year, just remember few of my important tips and pointers which I would like to tell you all. First of all, most of you must be having first mains or second mains only. जिनका first mains है, in the next 30 days, try to complete the first reading of your optionals and have the basic material and the basic notes for most of the topics of the GS which you have going to learn. GS2 और GS3 के लिए आप हमेशा मेंस 365 पे रिलाई कर सकते हैं. मेंस 365 करंट अफेयर ओरिएंटेड होती है और करंट अफेयर से ही चीजें आती है. GS1 और GS4 को थोड़ा टाइम नहीं थे. GS4 में आंसर राइटिंग कीजिए, GS4 में पढ़िए कम, आंसर राइटिंग ज्यादा कीजिए. जितना ज्यादा आप आंसर राइटिंग करेंगे GS4 में, उतना अच्छा बेटर रिजल्ट आपको मिलेगा. और GS4 सिर्फ लिखने से सीखते हैं, पढ़ने से नहीं सीखते हैं. GS2 एंड 3 थोड़ा सा कंटेंट हैवी रखिए, तो उसके लिए आप थोड़ा सा जो भी आपका कंटेंट है उसको अच्छे से प्रिपेयर करेंगे, अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे, तो वो हेल्प करेगा. GS1 में ट्राई टू कवर द बेसिक्स. फॉर एग्जाम्पल सोसाइटी एंड ज्योग्राफी अच्छे से पढ़िए. हिस्ट्री में ठीक ठाक से चीजों को पढ़ लीजिए. डायग्राम जितने ज्यादा बना सकते हैं GS1 में डायग्राम उतने ज्यादा बनाइए, तो वो आपको हेल्प करता है. ऐसे राइटिंग मैंने बता दिया, ऐसे को थोड़ा सा आप अनकन्वेंशनल रखें. जो चीज आपको अच्छी लगती है उसको लिखें, थोड़ा सा इमोशन के साथ लिखें. अपना जो भी एंगल या टच और डाइवर्सिटी ला सकते हैं उसमें लिख के आइए. और ऑप्शनल जिन लोगों का सोशियोलॉजी है आंसर राइटिंग जरूर करें। आंसर राइटिंग बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करती है सोशियोलॉजी में, अपार्ट फ्रॉम रीडिंग। और हर कोई लेता है, थिंक का समझ हर कोई लेता है, लेकिन लिख नहीं पाता है। लिखना वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट है, और डिमांड को समझ के लिखना बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है। तो ये सारे पैरामीटर्स को आप लोग ध्यान में रखेंगे। न्यूज़पेपर जरूर पढ़ते जाइए। न्यूज़पेपर को एज एन एग्जाम्पल के पर्सपेक्टिव से पढ़े कि न्यूज़पेपर से आप क्या एग्जाम्पल निकाल सकते हैं, क्या एग्जाम्पल एक्सट्रैक्ट कर सकते हैं अपने आंसर राइटिंग के लिए। फोर में केस स्टडी कहाँ से प्रिपेयर करना है? केस स्टडी कहीं से प्रिपेयर नहीं करना है। लुकमान के नोट्स आप देख सकते हो। लुकमान का जो एथिक्स का नोट्स आता है, क्लासेस करने की जरूरत नहीं है। उनके जो नोट्स, ऑनलाइन नोट्स, ऑफलाइन नोट्स अवेलेबल है, नोट्स से आप देख सकते हो। फिर बाकी आपको टॉपर कॉपी से सीखना है कि कैसे केस स्टडी को लिखते हैं, कैसे केस स्टडी को एड्रेस करते हैं। और उसके बाद फिर आप चीजों को प्रैक्टिस अच्छा रहेगा। ऐसे में पेस्टल शुड बी अवॉइडेड। यस, इन माय ओपिनियन इट शुड बी अवॉइडेड। पेस्टल को डायरेक्टली पेस्टल करे नहीं तो घुमा फिरा के लिखो तो बेटर है। हर कोई लिख रहा है, और जो लोग पेस्टल पे लिख रहे हैं उनके मार्क्स नहीं आ रहे हैं ऐसे में। तो ट्राई टू बी यूनिक इन योर ऐसे राइटिंग, और ट्राई टू बी राइट विद डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव्स एंड डिफरेंट ओपिनियंस। फिलोसॉफिकल एसेज में ये होता है, फिलोसॉफिकल एसेज में कुछ नहीं करना है आपको। जो भी जीएस का सिलेबस है, उस जीएस के सिलेबस को, जो भी आपका जीएस का सिलेबस है, उस ऐसे टॉपिक को जीएस के सिलेबस के साथ लिंक करके, सिंक करके आप लिखते जाइए। तो आपके डिफरेंट डिफरेंट डायमेंशंस खुलते जाएंगे। ज्यादा से ज्यादा कोट्स का यूज कीजिए, थिंकर्स का यूज कीजिए, मूवीज एंड बुक्स का यूज कीजिए इन एसेज में। तो वो ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करता है। फिलोसॉफिकल एसेज से डरने की जरूरत नहीं है कि हर एक टॉपिक पे आपके पास आंसर्स होने चाहिए। ये मतलब 1-1.5 पेज का कंटेंट आपके सिलेबस के हर टॉपिक के आपके पास होना चाहिए, ताकि आप किसी भी क्वेश्चन को, किसी भी आंसर को, उसमें से जो भी नीड है आप उसको मीट कर पाओ, और उसके आंसर को आप एड्रेस कर पाओ। सो वो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है। ठीक है। फिर उसके बाद मैं कहूँगा आंसर राइटिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट होती है। और आंसर राइटिंग में मेन चीज आती है आंसर की डिमांड को मीट करना, जैसे मैंने कहा था। माइक्रो नोट्स, यस यार। फॉर माइक्रो नोट्स आई वुड से कि मैंने एक डायरी बनाई हुई थी, मेरे पास यहाँ रखी नहीं है अभी। एक छोटी सी डायरी बनाई हुई थी 100-150 पेज की। उसमें मेरे अंदर माइक्रो नोट्स था, उसमें मेरा पेपर 1 पेपर 2 दोनों कंबाइन था। So what I had was, for every keyword and every important topic of our syllabus, I used to have a definition. I used to have the important points and important statements about that point. Types हो गया, उसका features हो गया, या जो भी उसके बारे में basic information है वो। उसके बारे में उसके thinkers लिख लिए, जो thinkers ने कुछ कुछ कहा है वो। And then after writing the thinkers, I have the criticism. Criticism में उसके 2 या 3 thinkers के criticism लिखता था, and then a conclusion. तो 1-1.5 पेज में मेरा कोई भी एक टॉपिक या कोई भी 2 चीजें हो जाती थी। सो दिस इज हाउ आई यूज्ड टू मेक माइक्रो नोट्स फॉर एवरी सिंगल टॉपिक ऑफ द सोशियोलॉजी। तो ऐसे आप बना सकते हो ताकि आप उसको एंड पॉइंट में रिवाइज कर पाओ। डायग्राम्स वगैरह जितने भी जो भी हैं आप इंक्लूड कर लो। स्वराज आईएएस के जो आंसर राइटिंग सेशंस थे उसमें मेरे को बहुत हेल्प मिलती थी। विकास पालवे सर डायग्राम वगैरह बना के एक्सप्लेन करते थे, करवाते थे। So that I did, and that I replicated and also in my answers, and it sounded good, और ठीक ठाक स्कोर आ गया सोशो में बढ़िया से। तो उसके लिए आई हैव डन दिस।
The key to get that half an extra marks more in every answer depends on the per GS paper. For example, in GS1, you need to draw as many diagrams as possible to score an extra edge. For example, if you are writing Sanchi Stupa, you can draw a Sanchi Stupa diagram there. If you are writing Ashoka pillar edict, so you can draw just pillar diagram there. For example, there was a one question in this, means the cultural significance of bull and a tiger. So as myself being a Jain, so I knew tiger and bull are the symbols of our Tirthankar, first and 24th Tirthankar, Lord Mahavira. So I wrote that, I draw a diagram of a Tirthankar showing just a symbol, ki this is the tiger and this is the bull. And also a Nandi, I was written bull was shown as a Nandi, so I draw a diagram of a Nandi there. And again, national emblem of Sarnath, four line emblem. So I wrote that tiger is used there, and I draw the emblem diagram there. So in that particular answer, I think I have 4 or 5 diagrams. And in geography questions, in every questions, I draw a world map. So that played a very good role in this. So this is how you get an edge in GS1, by drawing the diagrams and by writing the examples as many as possible. In GS2, the value-added part is writing the constitutional articles and constitutional judgments as far as possible. The numerous judgments you will write and the numerous articles you will quote, there are high chances you will get in half and 1 marks extra in that answer. In governance and social justice portion, you need to draw the diagrams there. And in IR question, the type of examples and the depth of the examples which you will write, the unique examples which you can write, that will be helpful to you. And in GS3, GS3 is more about the committees, the data, the facts, and those things which you will be writing in GS3 that will give you an edge. And in GS4, the value addition is of the examples and the diagrams. Nothing more needs to be done in GS4. So this is how in every answer, writing a unique dimension, writing a different example, drawing the diagrams, drawing the maps, or writing the committees and judgments can fetch you half and 1 mark extra in every question, and you can get an edge from the other competitors. How to consolidate paper 2? What were my primary sources? So paper 2 के लिए I only referred to Nitin Sangwan, and after Nitin Sangwan, the lectures and the answers which I wrote for Swaraj IAS. The discussion of it was very helpful for me in paper 2, so I used that discussions for my answer writing. एज वेल एज महापात्रा सर के कुछ एग्जाम्पल्स या कुछ चीजें उनके नोट्स में थी जो पेपर 2 में, सो उसको मैंने इंटीग्रेट किया था. बाकी मैंने कुछ किया नहीं पेपर 2 के लिए, एक्स्ट्रा आंसर राइटिंग की है बस. What I would say, and I have talked to many seniors who have got rank, scored good in social. Thinkers is not that important. Your sociological analysis is more important. If you can write a thinker, it will be like a cherry on the cake. But thinkers are not essential in sociology answer writing, especially in paper 2, because for most of the answers, you would not be getting a thinker in paper 2. They would be contemporary questions. We haven't heard of a thinkers for that topic, for that answer. So rather than dwelling down into the thinkers and writing out of the blue or fancy thinkers in sociology, try to give a in-depth sociological analysis of the view. Try to cover it from various perspectives: feminist perspective, Marxist perspective. Try to give a postmodernist view or a radicalist view perspective, ethnomethodologist perspective, or Dalit perspective. So this is a tribal angle you can give to the answer. So this is how you can make your answer sociological and have a sociological analysis. If you have a thinker, that is well and good. But if you don't have a thinker, don't unnecessarily dwell into writing many thinkers in the answers.
Sir, one more question on this. Sir, how to rescue ourselves to write a good sociological answer and also not to get into the area of GS writing? See,
what I followed and what Vikas sir also told us, I made a framework for my answers. For example, there is a mnemonic which I made, FMCGR. S stands for family, M stands for marriage, C stands for caste, G stands for gender, R stands for religion, and you can add another T for tribe. So these are the 6 stakeholders. In any of the answers you want to write, you include the dimensions and think from the point of view of these 6 stakeholders: family, marriage, caste, gender, religion, and tribe. You will get points. Out of 6, you can get 3 or 4 points in every answer. So if you write those points and from their perspective, what would be the benefit to them and what would be the consequences to them, and try to use the paper 1 manifest and related आप use करो, reference group को use करो, consciousness को आप use करो, collective conscience को use करो, alienation को use करो, IME का concept you can use everywhere, and integrating it with the 6 stakeholders, you will get the very good sociological answer in any dynamic question.
So the reason why I'm asking you is this: that last time when I wrote, I think the questions or the answer questions in one of the institutions, I was not getting the marks until and unless I started writing the thinkers. So what a bias I have created is the more the number of thinkers with the arguments also, the more the number you fetch in paper 2 as well.
Not exactly. Thinkers give you an edge, but in my opinion, पेपर 2 में कुछ जगह तो मैंने थिंकर्स लिखे थे जहां आते थे मेरे को, जहां नहीं आते थे वहां नहीं लिखा था. So don't just run about the thinkers. Try to give the analysis and try to give from different perspective. Apart from it, you can add the learning various new thinkers so that you can have a good score in paper 2. That would not help much.
And in paper 1 it will help, na? मतलब paper 1 में अगर मैं thinkers लिखूं,
paper 1 में it was definitely help if you write more thinkers. हाँ, फॉर सोशियोलॉजी लर्निंग द थिंग, देखो याद करना तो पड़ेगा ही. आप थोड़ा सा निमोनिक्स बना के, स्टोरीज बना के आप चीजों को याद कर सकते हो, एंड ट्राई टू रिवाइज द एज मल्टीपल टाइम्स एज थिंग्स.
सर आपने ट्राइब और वो इरावती कर्व के क्लासिफिकेशन के अलावा और कहाँ मैप्स बनाए थे पेपर 2 में?
पेपर 2 में नोट्स पूछ रहे हो?
नहीं सर, आप बता रहे थे ना कि आपने इंडिया का मैप तक बना दिया था पेपर 2 में,
हाँ हाँ हाँ।
वो चीजें और कहाँ की जा सकती हैं?
देखो, इन ट्राइबल क्वेश्चन आई ड्रॉ मैप, इरावती कार्वे आई ड्रॉ मैप, और आई डोंट रिमेम्बर इन विच क्वेश्चंस बिकॉज आई फॉरगेट द क्वेश्चंस, बट आई ड्रू 5 to 6 maps, 5 maps at least I remember in paper 2 of socio. So
एंड सर, फ्लो
हाँ
चार्ट वगैरह भी आप मतलब बना देते थे क्या फिर?
हाँ, I used to draw the flow charts as in where I possible. So उससे क्या होता है, मोनोटोनी ब्रेक हो जाती है और आपका कंटेंट बहुत सिस्टमेटिक वे में आप रिप्रेजेंट कर पाते हो.
ऑलराइट सर.
I have sleepy classes notes and written Sangwan, nothing more needed. Yes, sir. And answer writing, I think more needed. Yes, sleepy classes notes and written Sangwan is more than sufficient for writing a good answer and a good content. But you need to have an understanding of the content. And answer writing is, as far as I know, you can start as early as possible for answer writing. Try to cover the PYQs of sociology. 70% of the questions would be repeated. And yeah, any test series you can join, it suffice. And do a lot more of practice. The mistakes and the myths for a first aspirant writing first mains. See, means is just about the process. If you know the process, if you know go in the right direction, you need to be in thorough with the syllabus and the PYQs. For example, if I would say there is a set pattern for the PYQs and the questions which UPSC is asking in the mains, and 40% of the questions in the mains are predictable in nature. You can predict them कि ये आने वाला है सवाल और ये वही आएगा. For example, जैसे इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी में there are 4 questions from internal security. Question number 9, 10 and 19, 20 in civil GS3 के पेपर में 2 क्वेश्चन फिक्स हैं. एक साइबर सिक्योरिटी से आएगा और एक क्वेश्चन नक्सलिज्म या नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंसर्जेंसी या एक और इंसर्जेंसी. 3 चीजें दी हुई हैं, तो उन तीनों में से आता है. सो लास्ट ईयर नक्सलिज्म मैंने प्रेडिक्ट कर लिया था, वो आएगा. इस साल नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंसर्जेंसी पे सवाल आने वाला है. So this is how you can analyze the PYQs and do the things. Answer writing is very most important for the first timers. Don't be in that loop कि आप पढ़ रहे हो, आपको लग रहा है आप पढ़ लिया, आपने पढ़ा नहीं है, या चीजें कर ली, आप आंसर नहीं लिख रहे हो. लिखोगे नहीं तो सीखोगे नहीं. तो लिखना है, आंसर लिख लिख के आप चीजों को इम्प्रूव करोगे. Don't use chronicle for PYQs. What is the best thing you can do is now have a peer group and write the PYQs and have a discussion on it. So 3 or 4 people writing the same answer gives you a proper analysis of the PYQs. What is the demand of the question? What is the structure of the question? And get your PYQs evaluated by some of the evaluators, some of the selected aspirants. Peer group evaluation is more than sufficient for PYQs. No, I would not comment. See, I started first by saying, for any topic, you need to have 4 or 5 thinkers only. If you have those in your content, no need to add any extra thinkers in that topic from the model answers. I don't use model answers for collection of thinkers. I use model answers for writing the points if I have missed any, and the examples if something is given in the model answers, like this example can be used in this type of questions. So I use model answers for those things. So I never collected thinkers from the model answers, and I would not advise you also to do it.
So one more question. Like in newspapers, usually, like we try to take in examples from the newspapers, but in the end, while utilizing it in the paper, I don't really get an idea as to जैसे हम recent events जो कि बहुत maximum effect में होते होंगे, उन्हें use करें या फिर जैसे छोटे-छोटे examples वो matter करते हैं या फिर कुछ impact डालते हैं marks में.
You can use the chota examples in the recent example. For example, see, ethnicity is a topic in sociology as well as in GS1 वगैरह में चीजें पूछते हैं. So you can have the thing, for example, Manipur conflict is in news right now, na? So just note that in your example wala list wherever you are happening, and use those things. ठीक है. सो जरूरी नहीं है कि एकदम करंट के एग्जाम्पल आप लिखो, पूरे साल भर का भी एग्जाम्पल आप लिखोगे तो भी चलेगा. सो एग्जाम्पल्स प्ले अ बिग रोल. सो इट इज अपॉन यू हाउ यू विल यूज द आंसर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैनिफेस्ट एंड लिटिन का फंक्शन है, तो मैनिफेस्ट लिटिन का जो क्वेश्चन आता था उसमें मैं यही एग्जाम्पल लिखता था. वैक्सीनेशन से क्या हुआ है, वैक्सीनेशन का मैनिफेस्ट फंक्शन क्या है कि अपन को इम्यूनिटी प्रोवाइड करवाना और डिजीज को ब्रेक करना, और उसका लेटेंट डिस्फंक्शन क्या है कि उससे बायोमेडिकल वेस्ट जनरेट होता है और प्लास्टिक पोल्यूशन जनरेट होता है. So this is the latent dysfunction, and hybrid immunity provide karna is a manifest function. So this example I used to write in manifest and latent. So see, it is not of a contemporary, it is not of a current example. Now, vaccination was in the news for the past 2 years. So उस time पे I had thought of it, so I used it recently also. मैंने final examination में भी लिखा था शायद ये answer, ये options. So this is how you can use and integrate your examples from newspapers into the answer writing. My dear, there is no one single source for GS. There have to be a multiple sources for multiple subjects. So you need to have a particular source for it. But if you need one source only, and if you want to do it, then Shun IAS की हर GS की booklet आती है. You can do it decent enough, but it's bulky. So, but if you find a one single source, so you can use those things.
सर सोशियोलॉजी के लिए आपको कौन सी टेस्ट सीरीज डिसेंट लगी?
And the most benefit which I got was from Swaraj IAS ka daily answer writing initiative and Vikas Palve sir ke discussions. So that was the honest review of it. I would say अच्छा रहेगा. मतलब मैंने सोशियोलॉजी टेस्ट सीरीज तो ज्वाइन नहीं किया था स्वराज में, डेली आंसर राइटिंग ज्वाइन किया था. तो डेली आंसर राइटिंग तो बहुत फायदा किया था. अगर टेस्ट सीरीज में विकास पालवे सर डिस्कशंस वगैरह ले रहे होंगे या उनका कोई एसोसिएशन रहेगा तो फिर आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हो, बिकॉज उनका इनपुट काफी हेल्प करता है आंसर्स में. यस अमन.
Sir, I'm not writing mains this year.
Okay.
So, but I have completed my sociology and lectures and like
Okay.
paper 1, paper 2 both. So like sir, मैं चीजों को कैसे strategize करूँ for the
ठीक है. तो सबसे पहले what you can do is स्वराज आईएएस का अगर आंसर राइटिंग इनिशिएटिव डेली आंसर राइटिंग वाला स्टार्ट होता है अभी, तो यू नीड टू ज्वाइन इट. सो आप वो ज्वाइन कर लोगे तो आपका क्या होगा, रिवीजन होता जाएगा और आपकी आंसर राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस बनी रहेगी और आपको वैल्यू एडिशन मिल जाएगा जो आपके आंसर्स में हेल्पफुल होगा. Otherwise, if you are not willing to join the daily answer writing initiative of anything, so then you should join a test series for sociology, because you need to write the answers and work upon the answer writing for sociology if you have completed the thing. So that before the next mains, next pre, your sociology and your GS things are completed and you are ready with the mains.
Okay. And sir, same with the GS.
Same with the GS. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
You can plan 90 days. See, in these 90 days, you have to plan 3 set of revisions for every GS and optional you need to do. So accordingly, you can make micro plans so that you complete three revisions. And yes, basic note making and content developing is important. So GS1 you need to work upon mainly, because GS2 and 3 you need to do only the mains 365 part. करंट अफेयर के लिए वो सीधे मेंटेन हो जाती है. GS4 इज ऑल अबाउट आंसर राइटिंग.
तो सर वो पेज भरने वाली फिलोसॉफी फॉलो
नहीं. हाँ, मैंने मतलब 5 पेज नहीं भरे थे, टू बी ऑनेस्ट. मतलब 4 पेज की जो अपन की नॉर्मल प्रैक्टिस होती है 4 पेज ही भरा था मैंने. इनफैक्ट आखिरी की 2 में शायद 3.5 पेज ही भरे होंगे. तो 107 नंबर आए थे तो बुरे तो नहीं थे.
ऑलराइट सर.
So I think on behalf of Swaraj IAS, I would like to conclude this session. If there are no more doubts, thank you so much, Jatin Jain sir, for his valuable guidance, and his hard work has really paid off. And this should guide everyone and inspire the entire Swaraj IAS family in the future to give our all in this exam and come out with flying colors. So thank you so much again, Jatin sir. Thank you for your valuable time.
Thank you Swaraj IAS for hosting me. Thank you sir.